So I'm back to working on my IFS systems, and I want to heal this chapter, and I want to be different. And this week I've been this has been a really, really rough week because I watched something on Instagram. It was like about, you're not in a season of isolation. God's not testing you. You're living in your consequences. And that really hit me because I am living in my consequences. And today I was thinking of how every 6 months I am in the same situation. And I'm like, it's because, every 6 months, it takes 6 months for my consequences to catch up to me. And I want to change, I want to be different, but it's like I have a lot of set default responses in my body. So I'm like, I am working on rewiring my brain. These last 2 days has not been good, but tomorrow I'm gonna start back better. But so I have to work on my IFS systems where that holds my responses. So I did the watcher and I did thinker, and you do have to maintenance on your IFS because they do start coming back. But today I was I was thinking about God or something, but I had a strong, really negative feeling. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a good chance. Let's just start working on it right now. So I'm like, who are you? And it's hatred. And, this is I have really, really strong feelings against God, not good feelings, because when I was younger, I grew up, I have a lot of spiritual trauma. And so, I was younger, I was so numb. And so when you're really numb, when you feel something, that emotion is way, 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 big, way bigger, because you're not feeling anything. And so, I'm numb, but every year, I'm getting preached about hell. I think I was 9, or maybe first time I was 7, where I got saved. In Sunday school, and after I said the prayer, I'm like, I didn't get saved, I didn't feel anything. And then when I'm 9, they're preaching about hell, and I'm scared, I'm traumatized. So I go home, and I have so much fear, desperation. I don't want to go to hell. My body is shocked. And so I got my house parent, Aunt Dee Dee. She came in room 2, and she I talked to her, I'm crying, and she's like, it's okay. And she says the prayer with me. And so she says a prayer, and then after she says a prayer, she gives me a kiss and she leaves. And I know in my heart, I didn't get saved. I don't feel anything. I feel empty inside. And, that just started it every year. At a couple times every year, I just be so scared and just cry. And I'm like, show me your pain. And so I'm going in thinking of every time where I'm oh my gosh. So it's as soon as I left college, for a couple weeks, I was crying in my bed, listening to preaching, trying to get saved. And then I'm saved, and being happy. And then a couple weeks later, I'm not saved. And then it's every apartment I've been at, I've had the same situation where I'm just crying in fear and desperation. And then getting saved, and a couple weeks later, feeling so much sadness because I'm not saved. And so it's every time I felt these, and this is all before I start healing, so I'm numb. So it's every time I feel these emotions, they're 10 times worse because I'm numb, but then they get trapped into the same nervous system, and it's you just pile on stuff. And so I have so much emotional trauma. And so I'm thinking, I'm feeling everything my system hatred is feeling. And then I'm okay, let me just write down. Let me just write whatever it's saying. I write 4 pages, and it's the cruelest stuff. It's oh my gosh. So when I'm writing it, I'm I'm writing it for my subconscious. So I'm not thinking of what I'm writing. I'm just writing. And so I'm am I making this up? When I'm writing, but it's no, it's just these are deep down feelings that I have. And I really was scared writing some of this. I'm oh my gosh, God's gonna strike me down. but I do want to like accept everything that like my system feels. And it's just like I didn't like I knew like I didn't know it was like this bad. So I'll read some of it. I'm not a really good, I write like subconsciously, and like subconsciously it's not like sentence paragraph, like it's not like it doesn't coincide. It's just like just random thoughts. So I don't know. So I am hatred. I despise anything God related. My mind would and still says fuck God, fuck you. Every time I pray to him and think of him, God God has let me down. Okay, so that it's not going to be coherent. God has let me down so many times. When I was younger, I would be scared about the preaching of hell. I didn't want to go to hell, so I would pray for salvation. I remember the first time that really traumatized me when I was in room 2. I had my house parent Aunt Dee Dee come and talk to me. I told her I was scared of hell, and she led me through to salvation. After I said the prayer, I felt even worse because I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel saved. That was always a problem. We were taught that feeling is confirmation. It wasn't verbally talked about but understood. Everyone's testimony always ended with, I felt the light come off me, or I feel alive, and I felt the sin come off me. Like people would like in our church, people would like do their testimonies, or and I was in sin, but then like after everyone always like said something, but and I felt the joy of the Lord. Like I felt his strength. And so like I feel like that got trapped into a lot of our consciousness. Like it was feeling. And even though now I know it's not a feeling, I can't like function like because I'm like I don't feel it. I still did it, like it's just trapped, like it's a feeling. I felt the son of me. Maybe I heard so much about feeling that I just put 2 and 2 together. Our pastor would always ask, oh, also we'd always do testimonies, and he'd always ask us, well, how do you feel? And so we'd be like, I feel joy. Like we'd have to like do that, and it just got trapped. Like everything was feeling related. Oh yeah, so yeah, feeling was an spoken thing. Every year I would revisit the feelings of not being saved. He's all powerful, always there for everyone but me, it seems. My whole life I've had a mental block in my mind where I've always wanted to be saved. I always prayed and begged him, and even when I was living so far gone, I still every year would ask, beg, pray, cry, and be disappointed. And so this is like a really big thing because I did like my whole childhood have like a mental block over my over my mind, which is the weirdest thing. So it's like I knew everything inside and out about Salvation Road, about God, everything, but I couldn't like understand it. It's just the weirdest thing. So I knew that God's the God of life, and his son. Like I understood the Trinity. Like I in my head, like I understood it. I understood like everything, like, but I didn't understand it in my head. I don't know how to. I knew everything, like everything made sense to me, but I didn't understand it in my head. There's like a mental block, and I don't know. Like I didn't know like it was a mental block thing until like I think it was last year. Like I was like I read something about it, and I was like, that's what I suffer for, like from and like it's like the God's putting a block over your mind, like not letting you like fully understand. And like like a lot of stuff is like I don't really know much about, but it's like God like he gives you salvation. You ask for it, he gives you salvation. And so as a young child, every time I'd pray, like I knew that I didn't have it up here, and like I didn't know how to get it up there, and I like there's just a block. And so like it was such a bad feeling when everyone's like not on your side, and then you go and you pray and you try to get saved, and you're crying like, God, please let me. Like I literally cry, like even up until like 2 years ago, like please, 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 I want to be saved. And I have desperation and fear, but I didn't understand it up here, and I don't know. It's just I had a block over my mind for so many years, and like I was like so traumatized, and like because I knew I couldn't get saved, and I would convince myself for a couple weeks I was saved, and then like after I was like, I know I'm not saved, and like I'd feel even worse. And yeah, I was like so traumatized as a kid. And every time I feel this, like it gets, it's trapped into the same system, but I feel more deep and more deeply about it. And so not should be, I shouldn't be surprised that like it grew to like hate. I just didn't know. Like I literally just journaled 4 pages about like, okay, whatever. There was nothing I could do. All those feelings of despair, fear, disappointment got trapped in my nervous system, and every time I would happen. Every time it would happen, it would feel worse and worse. I hate God for what he made me go through, and I'm valid for it. It's not like someone died and I'm asking why, because we all know the world isn't fair. It's not like I'm praying for something that didn't go answered, because some prayers aren't answered. So like, some people like they hate God because their cousin died of cancer, and like they're like, why my cousin? And I'm just like, I understand, like it's life. A lot of people die, or when bad things happen to people, like people like, they get like so mad at God, but it's like, I understand bad things happen to everything. And it's like, I wasn't asking like all these like crazy, like complicated questions. I was just asking to get saved. Like, just, God's here to save us. And like, I just wanted to be saved. Like, I didn't want to go to hell, the simplest thing. And it's like, I couldn't. And so that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm praying for something that didn't go in. Oh, no. I was asking for salvation, the main thing he is here to do. And he said no. I was rejected time and time again. Not good, as if there's a thing. As if that's a thing. So many kids got saved at 4 and 5. Like he showed himself to these little kids. And here I am at 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, and even now, not given salvation. I needed someone growing up. I literally wasn't asking for much, but apparently that was too much. I'm so touchy when it comes to God. If I ask for something and not given it, it reinforces what I learned during childhood. You can't rely on him, and I don't have good emotions about him, so I stay away. I can't stand being around him. I just feel hurt and always wondering when I'll feel. So I always feel hurt whenever by God, not just my feelings towards him. And then like I'm always like wondering like, when's the next time something's gonna happen, then I feel like these feelings again. I hate the fact that in the end I need him, so I can't keep him too far away. So an arm length will do. Stay out of my life and I'll stay out of yours. You've never helped with much anyways. I don't see anything he does that's good. So frustrations because, my system doesn't like, I understand that in the end, like in order to get to heaven, I need God. So I'm frustrated because like, I feel like I've like went through all this traumatic experiences, and then in the end I have to by default, bow down and pray and stuff like that. So I'm just saying frustration, which is crazy. Like all this stuff is like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed, but like some of this I'm so scared. I'm like, he's gonna strike me down. I was literally trying not to judge myself when I was writing this, but I'm like, holy cow, like this is like a lot of like deep hurt. But I don't see anything he does as a good thing. He is here to punish us when we don't do things his way. God, I hate him, and God, I hate him. And forcing us to mold to his image and live his life is so aggravating. I hate asking for help because I feel there's strings attached. Now I have to praise him, be thankful to him, which is always draining, frustrating. Frustrating is that he always needs him. We always need him. Always some bullshit. Some bullshit message that he's trying to teach. I remember as a child saying, if I was saved, I would be fine with barely making it to heaven and live the life I wanted, because the end is a guaranteed good one. So as a child, I'd be like, as long as I'm saved, I'm fine, because I know in the end that I'm gonna go to heaven. So I'll live the life I want. So I'm like as a child, I was like, I just need to get saved and then I can live the life I want, which is not good either, which I don't even remember that. I despise him and everything he is about. I hate him and would love an arm distance. You don't get to traumatize someone their whole childhood and then make them walk to you with your dumb open hands as if it's a victory. So yeah, like I was traumatized, and then like now I have to like go and run into like his open arms. I guess I'm saying like I'm frustrated about that. And it's like it's not a victory when you like you're forcing someone to do that. It's like it's either them or hell. I think that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, as it's a victory. Traumatizing someone. Oh, they always go in that door and try to listen. Traumatizing someone to you, like to come to you, is bullshit. You can never cancel out that. You can never cancel out that with salvation. The fucked up part is I'm so twisted and conflicted inside that my only way forward is to God. Should a twisted game a twisted game. It's okay because I am the Son of God and know what's best for you. There's so many other options to get saved, but we sought the cruelest one. And oh, she will go to hell without me. So she will eventually see what everything I did was for to back to you. I don't know. As if traumatizing a 9-year-old is even a good answer. I never asked for much, and maybe sometimes I did, but what I needed the most was someone in my corner, someone here or there checking in. I had literally no one. Now, some 10 years later, and I can't stand him. I see him work here and there, a little sprinkle over the pain. But I just want to be apart. I want nothing to do with him. I don't need him. I've been doing just fine. He didn't help me before, and he won't now. Maybe a little here and there, but just to cover the wounds. I'm not his chosen one. I'm someone has to show a little love. I'm someone he has to show a little love to here and there because he's God, not the first pick, sweetie. There are far more people before you. I don't want to get myself more hurt in the future trying to be picked, trying to be her. I just want to know I'm not going to hell and I will be at peace living my life. Don't break my foot or arm so that I can love you more. Forget me and tend to the other millions. Oh my gosh. Don't break my foot and arm so I can love you more. Forget me and tend to the other millions. Let me live and die in peace. Give me a slap on the wrist. I'm okay with being in the lowest part of hell or in heaven. So I'm saying that, like, just, let me be saved and let me live my life. Like, there's millions of other people. Like, just work on them, And I'm saying I'm okay with, because the lowest part of heaven's like just people that just got saved and didn't live there, like carnal Christians. And I'm like, I'm okay being a carnal Christian. Just let me live my life. The lowest part of heaven is still heaven. Yeah, and then I wrote a letter to myself, my system. And then, so that's paraphrase of what I wrote, which is crazy. And then I wrote, hatred, I'm thankful for your thoughts. I don't judge. I love and appreciate you. You are formed from strong emotions. Your thoughts start with those emotions. It's okay to feel that way. It makes sense. I am miserable. My life is a mess and I feel failure deep down. Being traumatized by the one above all doesn't help in any way. I feel your hate, and honestly, I will never be on any other person's side who says that's okay. There's really no excuse. Even if your mind being blocked really wasn't the case, I feel like some kind of devotions or revelations or message should have been conveyed. It's wrong, and you have a lot of valid points. I praise your honesty and your openness. I know the pain, hurt was deep. I didn't know it was hatred. I didn't know it was that deep. It grew so much. I'm sorry for your pain, for your years spent in trauma and in a traumatized situation. I thank you for your vigor and valor, or vigilance, for your precaution. I love everything that you've done, and I take notice of your pain. And I'm take notice of your pain. I'm starting this new chapter in my life where I'm trying to heal, and if I don't want you stuck hating and heal all my life. I don't want you stuck hating someone, because hating only hurts you, not them. It's not profitable or a life we should have to endure. I will work to forgive, God, but I will work to forgive, God, but never forget. I want you free in this new chapter. So hatred, I release you. So my IFS hatred, it's like hatred towards God and stuff like that, but it's like, and like I feel like reaction, like if I feel bodily reaction, like visceral reaction, like when I'm like asking for prayer, when I'm asking for help, like, and like I just want to heal all of my systems. And so even though I'm like, I feel like sad because I don't want to heal it, because I want to still feel the pain and all of that, but it's like it didn't help me, even with like being in that pain, and like I still live a crappy life, and it's like it doesn't, it only affects me, part of me that feels that way. And so it's like I am like raising the white flag. I am admitting defeat, and I have to move forwards. You can't really fight like you can't fight long against like an all-powerful, all-knowing, like, person. You can't. And so it's like, it's not even like, it shouldn't have even been a fight. It's not. Yeah, I'm never gonna win, and I'm losing right now. So I do feel like really strongly about, God and my childhood and stuff like that. But I am deciding to release my hatred, release all of that, because I'm never gonna win, and it's never gonna make my life better. And I really want to, this new chapter my chapter of reality is my last chapter of being unstable, and my last chapter of like just being in like default response mode. And like I want to heal everything, even like something is like as hurtful as this. I just want to heal and move forwards, because I know that I'm not going to be able to close this chapter if I don't heal everything. And I want a better life. I'm so sick of being in like the struggle of, I have to move every 6 months and have to get a new job every 6 months, and nobody liking me because I'm such a bitch, and me not even knowing I'm being a bitch because like I'm not even present. I'm not aware. It's just my default response is like just, and it sucks, and I don't want to be that way anymore, and I want to be stable, and I want to be happy, and I want to really work through all my trauma this year. So I am going to start really, really working on my IFS, and I'm really going to start working on like my default mode, and I'm really like rewiring my brain to be happy. So I am doing that. I start my new job on the 16th, and then I still waiting for my last call from Duncan. So Duncan is just so I can just slowly pay off bills, and so yeah. So I'm healing, and I'm working my 2 jobs. That's what I'm doing for the rest of this year. And I just wanna, my 20s, actually my whole life has been a very traumatic, like dark, unstable, bumpy ride. But as long as I finish my 20s, I close my 20s being healthy and mature um, and like healing. I've got a lot, but just healing, like I will be really happy. And so I'm 26 right now. Maybe if I just keep working, by 28, I'll be good, you know? So, yeah, that is my path. It's not a clear, I mean, it's a clear path, but like in my head, it's not, you know, it's not a clear path. Like whenever I'm close to stuff, my brain just jumbles stuff. Like just the simplest concept, but then I'll be like, if it's like, so it's like an immediate need in my life, my brain just jumbles it. I don't know why. But yeah, that's just crazy that I've been keeping that in forever, and that like I low-key like do not like God and hate God. But I am waving the white flag, and I'm really gonna try to work on my relationship with God, because it sucks, but this is a losing battle, and I don't want to be part of a sinking ship. So that's that. So